Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is Monday. Cristiano Ronaldo's back. He's diving. He's doing it. He's all action. Man United, they're packing it in. This is the television I'm here for. West Ham, I mean, are you kidding me? That is box office. That is the height of box office. Speaking of box office, I'm joined by two handsome gentlemen, starting off with Senzo Stebe. How are you doing, Paul, in a roadman jumpsuit?
I'm alright, bro.
Wearing the roadman uniform there, grey bottoms, grey top. Only thing missing is slops with socks.
What are you saying? Why are you saying jumpsuit?
You know the roadman uniform
you're diabolical.
Top, matching pants, right? So my man, what's it? Who's the guy who did the
Rocky?
Yeah, Rocky is a person. He did do it.
But it's swag though.
No, it is. But guys are doing it now. Who's what's Michael Dapper's rapper character name?
Michael Dapper.
Michael Dapper, the British comedian who did The Man's Not Hot.
Oh yes, that guy.
So he takes it to the limit.
Shaq West.
Yeah. So that's the roadman suit. Is you got to have matching top, matching bottoms tracksuit, socks, but slops. So
yes.
all you're missing is the slops, but you got the beanie, you got the whole thing, and you're looking good. How did the weekend go? Cristiano
It
Ronaldo's
was.
back at it.
Just to clarify, Ronaldo wasn't diving. He got hacked twice.
Hacked.
He got hacked twice. Those are both penalties, and you know it.
I don't know it.
You're unbelievable.
Next to him, a Manchester United fan, never known, and I can already imagine what's coming. Brad Phillips, former professional footballer, exercise physiologist.
Thank you for getting it right this time.
And a man who tried to rip my groins from my legs yesterday.
I didn't use my hands.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
No,
you're
to be
talking
clear,
about.
his hands were not on my groin.
Oh, anyway,
Even if they were.
actually, they were in my pocket.
Maybe that's how you guys roll. See what's your
No,
roll.
It's not called rolling. It's called wrestling.
Exactly. No, well, you're very quick to get defensive,
No, I just listen. I just want to be clear that his hands weren't on my groin.
even if they were.
What would you say about that? Are you open to that?
Yes, hey, bro. if you're enjoying yourself, then go ahead.
Are you open to it though?
Yeah, I'm open to it.
So you keep Brad
Right.
get his hands on your groins?
If he wants to.
No,
If it's good for me.
What do you say?
Let's get nasty.
I said if it's good for me,
Yeah.
so that should tell you everything.
So you like that caressing touch of a man's hands on the groin. Sends his debit, his breakfast, his lunch, his supper, and maybe mine as well. By the way, I want to be open to it. Brad, Cristiano Ronaldo diving.
So, in the words of Michael Owen, 20% on the first one,
Okay.
30% on the second one. It's all rubbish.
Yeah.
I'd say that the first one was definite, where the guy drove his knee into Ronaldo's knee. The one where the guy blew Ronaldo over in the second one, definitely not.
He's box office because no matter what he does, there's no winning if you at that level. Like at
True that.
legendary level, anything he does is absolutely a dive, or the ref's the worst human alive. There's no like, ooh, football's a complicated sport. Was he on the way down? Sometimes in football is like, I think the one where he goes over him, why they don't give it is sometimes the contact is because Ronaldo's actually looking to avoid the contact. He's not. And I think what's the name? Soufal is probably not doing the hack thing. That's where I am, and I'm trying to do the pull-out thing. Sometimes in football, it's just a contact sport.
Yeah.
And so I can see why they didn't give it on the second one. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe the most powerful footballer in the world.
Oh my God.
But this is what happens, right? When you're a legend, and so Man United are destined to win the league now because if Ronaldo is getting those sorts of controversial penalties.
Sure.
You're bound to get what? 15. I was hoping
goals a game?
I was hoping you'd get it. You know why? Because have you guys had a penalty since Ronaldo arrived? Yeah.
No.
I need to
You want to see who takes it.
Yeah, I want to see what him and Bruno.
But you all
Portuguese
know.
boys
But you know who's going to take it.
Bruno.
Hell no.
Ronaldo steps up.
But
Who decides 1-0 at Liverpool 90th minute penalty?
Ronaldo.
Dog. Come on. You know this though.
I don't know anything.
No, but you know this though.
I don't know anything.
Bruno should take it though. He's a better penalty taker.
No, but Ronaldo will take it.
I saw a situation at PSG, and I don't think Man United fans are ready for this conversation. I saw it happen live. It's like, okay, Cavani's the penalty taker. We all knew that.
And then Neymar, what did Neymar do?
So I want to see now Bruno, because it's easy when you're talking about it. Everyone's cool when you're talking about it. 1-0 down, Liverpool.
So awkward.
Yeah, Liverpool. It's 1-0 down. The crowd's going wild.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but do not also makes it easier if, let's say Ronaldo wins it, right? He's definitely going to say, bro, step aside.
I'm looking forward to it.
He's like the big brother of Portugal.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's going to say, come on, boy.
I'll be gone in a year. Anyway.
He's going to be like Kanye West. I've been doing this more than you. He's going to say.
Brad, good to have you here. Senzo, good to have you here.
Likewise, bro.
As I do every Monday, I'll tell you where I was right, where I was wrong. We'll get in some social media, and a hero of mine, not you, Brad.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Robin Owen, who is married to Michael Owen, not that Michael Owen, but really is married to Michael Owen. In fact, Michael Owen's married to Robin Owen. That's the reality of this. Is one of my heroes. She is, I've always said, the toughest female athlete in the world. A real hero of mine. She is insane. If you don't know who Robin Owen is, take the time in the break to Google her because she is for real. For real. So we'll have a few athletes that are competing in the Otter African Trail Run in about a month's time, 3 weeks now. And then the EPL, we'll go over all the results, etc. Brad's with us for the first hour. Senzo's here. I'm here. The boys in the back are here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the MKT Show. Let's get things underway.
If you can't be good, be lucky. The Ole Gunnar Solskjaer guide to football management. No, it wasn't lucky. I mean, that was a game we dominated. I know people get upset when you win games or things happen in the last minute and go, oh, lucky. It's like you're allowed to play till that end. I'll be the first one to say United were lucky on something. I don't think they were yesterday. They got what they deserved. Should have had at least one penalty. At least you got to say one. Hit the post. David De Gea, a goalkeeper who never saves penalties, saving a penalty. You gotta love David Moyes. What is he thinking? Why do you do that? Why do you do that in the last minute? But that's why United's box office was the biggest show on earth. We don't want this efficient Liverpool win at a canter, Chelsea dismantle like a relatively big side. No, who needs that? Who needs that in their life? As I get older, I realize heart health is important. I realize stress levels, cholesterol, all those things. I got to start looking after them. And then I can't support a team like this. I can't. I need mid-table mediocrity. I need Wolves. This is what I need in my life. Nothing really good happens. Nothing really bad happens. It's never that interesting. I think I'm going to transition to Wolves. This is what I'm saying. I think that's where I'm going. Wolves. Wolves for me. Because Solskjaer is going to put me in my grave.
Those are the words of a man called Paulo Diaz. It's incredible stuff. The guy's swag game is unbelievable. Even his earphones are awesome. Great bomber jacket there, by the way. It is a spring in Africa as well. Paulo does things his own way. There is no way you should be wearing a bomber jacket in Africa, commenting about Cristiano Ronaldo like that. But if you can't be lucky, or if you can't be good, be lucky. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, guys, we might as well get into that whole thing. That first half was a bit hairy, hey? Like, West Ham were kind of doing things there. If they had Antonio, if I was watching that, I was like, Man United, what's going on here?
But you see, you can't say if.
Yeah.
If Ronaldo...
Portuguese?
Who?
Diaz.
Yeah.
He is.
Big
Well,
time.
he went from one Portuguese team to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
United to Wolves.
Exactly.
No, well, he naturally... So Paulo can't stand it when Portuguese people do well, by the way. I don't know, it's one of those things. Like, as soon as Portuguese people do well, it goes... I think there's something in him, you know? So he's delighted when the Wolves are getting beaten or whatever. So he's got his own stuff to deal with. But
Demons.
yeah, I mean, Man United, box office, it's the way to do it, you know. So now, you do have... Sorry, Brad, what did you say there? I mean, you do have Portuguese people in your life. You are, of course, you played football in at Robertsham. For those who don't know, in South Africa, Robertsham is... It's the club you want to play for. It's the club no one else likes. And
Definitely.
it is the place where... It is the breeding ground of... certainly what we used to call Southern Transvaal back in our day.
100%.
It's certainly one of the breeding grounds for those guys, because you're brought up in a part of town that, hey, listen, there's no messing around there, is you will get punched in the face.
Yeah, that usually you need tattoos and big muscles to be indoctrinated there. No, it's crazy, but there's a big Portuguese influence in that part of town as well, so it's odd me being from there and not being Portuguese, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, no. I would say Paulo Diaz. That's like
100%.
John Smith.
The Portuguese or Mohammed Hussein.
Yes, yeah,
100%.
No, he's about as Portuguese as it gets, and he went full Portuguese on Friday, old Paulo.
Oh yeah, with the chain.
Yeah, deep.
Did he
chain.
also get a monobrow?
No, you went 85% Portuguese, and because you're Portuguese adjacent, I believe the woman who has chosen you to hang around for a little bit, also known as a partner in life, she's Portuguese.
100%, yeah.
So yesterday there was a little bit of talk. We were at the gym, and I pointed out that
Sculpting the guns.
yeah, he's Portuguese. Well, no, it's suffering, but he's Portuguese adjacent. Brad, he's not Portuguese. So CR7 though, Brad, hey.
Different level. I just wish he was the ugly CR7 so I could take him seriously. The guy from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This guy's diving and he's still making it look pretty.
Yeah.
At least.
You see, when he dives.
He's a
He
legend
just
of the game.
flaps those little hands. Have you seen how small his hands are?
Does he have small hands?
Bro,
Like cabbage
smallest-
picking hands?
No, but
Smallest
he's
hands.
got terrible fingers because he bites his nails.
Literally like this.
Like
He's got a
cabbage,
paw.
They call them cabbage picking hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally a little paw. Cute.
So he's not perfect.
No.
But although with the amount of money he has, he could probably get what? Does
Fingers
he need
extension.
does he need the palm to grow, or is it the fingers?
I think it's the collective.
It's the collective, the whole thing. The whole thing doesn't look right.
So maybe he just chops his hands off, get a new hand.
Yeah. Legit. You can pay for that.
He could do it. He's got the money.
Money's not it's not money ain't the issue, as they say.
Small hands, huh? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Super odd, man. Someone 6'2".
You know whose hands he needs? He needs Michelle Obama's hands. She's got huge hands.
Michael Jordan has huge hands.
No, but have you seen Michelle Obama's
Have you
hands?
seen Michael Jordan's hands?
Well, he's a dude. He's 6'6".
Yeah, but
He's 6'6".
have you? I'll find a photo of Michael Jordan and I'll show you what. LeBron, like everything's proportional. Michael Jordan has oddly big hands. Have you seen him hold a basketball? Like what that
Well,
looks like?
he's 6'6".
Yes, I get that, but like, have you seen him hold?
Michelle Obama's a tiny woman. She's got like, I don't know, like you know those supporter hands when you go to a baseball game? Her hands are massive.
That's
what Ronaldo needs. Is can't really say that because everyone thinks the Obama family are like Jesus Christ adjacent, right?
100%.
Or like whatever, they're politicians. Who cares? Huge hands, huge hands. So Ronaldo should do. Did you ever see the movie? Was it Face Swap? What is it?
Face Off.
Face Off.
With
yeah.
John Travolta and
Should-
Nicolas
It
Cage.
should be a handoff.
Yeah.
It should be a handoff, but not like rugby, where Michelle Obama gets maybe, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo's.
Well, I think it'd be fair. I mean,
Bro,
she's
Michelle
a
Obama's
tall-
1'8", dude.
That's me. That's tiny.
For a lady.
Yeah, that's tiny.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Let
I'm
me
sure
tell you
it's
something.
Annette.
I
Sad.
was in Sweden, all right? The under 16 Swedish like club teams, girls teams. The shortest person was my height. We're a tiny country, South Africa.
Michelle Obama is a black woman.
Big hands. BB. Big black hands.
BBB.
BB.
Oh, H.
H.
What the hell? Sorry.
Big black hands. She has massive hands, this Michelle Obama. Shout out to her. So Cristiano Ronaldo, small hands, perfect life though.
Oh, man.
I mean, is he doing
Imagine.
it or what?
Have you seen his missus? That's
Worldie.
my response.
She's a
What's her
worldie.
name again?
No, it's not
Georgina
important.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Now that's what, South American?
She's from Argentina, yes.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Now, for those who haven't been to Argentina, Buenos Aires. Oh my goodness.
Georgina Rodriguez.
Top 5. I mean, only top by in terms of good-looking women. The Czech Republic. You've
Really?
never seen anything like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But Stockholm is.
you're not the first to say that. People are like, nah. Somebody, one friend went there and he said he almost broke his neck from turning around all the time.
I went for lunch in a town square, bought like a sandwich or whatever, right, in Prague. I ended up staying there for 5 hours without knowing, and my neck was sore from just like my head turning. No, I am not exaggerating. That's Prague, but nothing Stockholm. But Buenos Aires, it's
You have a
definitely
type,
looking.
actually.
It's looking to be.
so.
On the type, no.
I don't know. I like
on that type, I'm not asking
Baltic, Scandinavian. You got me.
On the type.
South American, not really my thing.
It's fiery. You don't like the passion.
Yeah, I like
You don't like the
consistent
passion.
temperament. Yeah, that temperament, the volatile temperament, which is true, by the way. Now, Brad, you can't say it, obviously, for your own safety. I know you do have to, don't say anything. But there is, the Latin temperament thing is true. I've played in that world. No, thank you. Not again. Friends, yes. Football, yes. Marriage, no way.
So you couldn't. So you couldn't be with a woman like Sofia Vergara.
I mean, there is a payoff there. I mean, she's incredibly good looking, but you mean the character that's been kind of shown, the Colombian...
Yo, so you see how she is on Modern Family? I don't know how she is in reality because
Yeah.
I've never hung out with her.
Yeah.
So, but like, would you
Shouting
date?
all over the
Oh,
place.
no.
Is it too much for you?
I can't do it. I can't do that aggressive partner thing. Like, there's no need. I'm old now. You don't need to shout. Not yet. Not when it's just us. Well, why are you shouting? It's fine.
Sure.
Like, I know you're not happy. I'm not happy. You're like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's a lot. Eh?
Well, I don't know because I won't tolerate it, and that's why I'm single. So, Brad,
enough.
let's talk about something that actually happened yesterday. And I was actually, because I got home and I thought, you know what, I haven't started. I like to, from around now, set goals for the next year that's coming, kind of lay the foundation just across the board, whether it's work, family. And yesterday I went to the gym and Brad was there and he's a sick man. and he made me.
So I've heard.
And I realized, wow, I am compared to what I used to be, and it is a good sign for me. Is wow, I'm gonna have to evolve. It's like, you know, I could run a 30-minute 10K back 5 years ago,
Jeez,
but I'm not 30 now.
Yeah.
I'm 35, and yesterday was a good reality check, even though I haven't trained properly like yesterday for a long time, but that's not an excuse. Is the mindset has to evolve. And I think last time you were here, you said it about Cristiano Ronaldo, was that his greatness is he's able to evolve.
100%.
Yeah, yesterday was, I really, at some stage, I can't remember what the last exercise we did when
did
you were pushing it back.
Yeah, negative leg extensions.
Yeah, that's when my groin felt like...
Wait, what you were doing? What?
No. Yes, that one. I think that was the second last one, because I did... What was the one?
We did hamstrings, also
Hamstrings.
negatives. Yeah, we're focusing on the negative phase of muscle contraction.
Yeah, that's when I thought my groin was going to rip off my leg, and that was intense. That was intense. But just in terms of... And then I was speaking to one of your compatriots at work. Now, shout out to James for bringing that up. Working hard or hardly working, that's me dying. And not a single... A lot of people have said I'm quite dramatic, but I'm closer, so that's in the blood. But that is me actually not able to get up. I haven't had that feeling since I was 18 years old at Tottenham Hotspur as a junior. That's the last time I felt like that.
That's pre-chalk off, eh? That's pre-chalk.
Yeah, that's it.
Dead body.
So I am actually... They're about to draw the sign. Yeah, that's me. And there's not a hint of exaggeration. If you're not on YouTube, obviously this is difficult for you to comprehend. Great quad size there, actually, considering how skinny I actually am.
That's called gravity pushing down.
Oh, is that a lie? Okay, it's an optical illusion. Forget about the quad size thing that I said. It's an absolute lie.
You look dead.
But I am dying there because I got pushed, I'd say, to about 75% of my limit. I mean, I could keep going. I didn't die. But yesterday was a mindset thing. And it's just... Yesterday I thought about... By the way, James has captioned this. Does MKT even work out? It's incredible stuff. You think your friends and people you work with would be on your side? Absolutely not. I love how much James is just a savage. But
he's an agent, bro.
He is. I mean, there's a man. That's me, by the way, dying yesterday.
No, dead.
Yeah, sorry. I've already died here. But then afterwards, I spoke to somebody one of your compatriots, Dev, about being about mindset, because he was an elite rower, and I've never encountered... I've trained with all types of athletes, 100-mile athletes, 100K athletes, mountain athletes, and we'll talk to someone later who's a mindset beast. But yesterday, I was talking to him, and he said when he stopped rowing with other elite rowers, and it came to me yesterday, he felt his mind just taking a step down, just across the board. So, yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit today about like the mindset. You know, everybody that I know always comes to me and goes, oh, I want to run 100K. And then I always say, don't worry about that. What's your mindset?
Yeah.
And like, how do you deal with clients in terms of that? And just your thoughts on, do you have like an approach to mindset?
Well, first and foremost, I try and get them to set goals, whatever the situation is. If it's an injury, it is, okay, first goal is dealing with pain, right? Booting pain out the way. Okay, cool. Then we shift the goalpost. Try and find our next little marker. If it's typically weight loss, cool, that's the story. If it's strength, cool. If it's a race, that's the same situation. We just create a term of how long it would take for that person to reach that goal, and then we just continue to shift the goalpost.
Yeah, and I tell you what, mindset's such a tough one, because we're all like from different homes, from different places. Not everybody played sport from 10 years old, so people don't... Like, I'm realizing more and more as I get older and I encounter people aren't used to being pushed.
Yeah.
I remember being pushed when I was younger, but I was at the School of Excellence, and if you were not willing to go to the red line, you're out.
100%.
You know, and pro football, like a boys' school rugby, is they push you until you break. It's not the military, but it's certainly close. You know, having heard from military people, and we had military lieutenants come and train us in high school. So it's like, it's so difficult for me to interact or even understand people that don't have the mindset of there is only this. And for me yesterday, it was like an awesome awakening moment. It's like, if you want to get to your peak, there is only this.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to commit to what I'm doing 100%, not like part-time. If I'm at the gym, I need to be at the gym mentally and physically. And I realized yesterday I wasn't completely there because I really could have pushed a little harder. Could have gone to there was I wasn't crawling out of there, so I left something at the gym, which let me. I didn't feel great about it, to be honest, when I got home.
No, you go for it first.
No. So, but you said something very interesting because, like, also The Rock, Dwayne Johnson says, like, when he trains, like, if he doesn't vomit, he says he hasn't done anything. So he pushes himself to that limit, and I find it very interesting, which you're right about, because the thing is, like, if you do leave room, you get complacent, and if you get comfortable, that's when you're not doing enough.
Having said that, from performance, I mean, that's an old school mindset. From a performance standpoint, do you constantly need to be pushing?
Well, no, you end up overcooking yourself. I used to work with a guy named Zach Van Heerden, right? Zach Van Heerden is like easily the best exercise physiologist in the country, especially when it comes to team sports. I mean, he's handled 5 or 6 different professional soccer teams within South Africa. Bafana, the Portuguese national team, is the machine.
Yeah.
And his philosophy was always to slightly undercook, so that when the day arrives, you've got a little more in the gas tank, and you hope that your head takes you through it.
Got you. So you don't want to arrive actually on the verge of the red line.
No. So you can start the situation off, whatever your, let's say it's a 3-month training camp, you can take someone to their deep dark place, but then afterwards you just keep them simmering just below the line until eventually game day comes, or race day, and that's when it's up to them to determine what they want to do about their race.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually ended up calling somebody yesterday who I consider a mentor in terms of the mindset thing, and it's like, it's little things, right? It's, for me, I always say, if you want to start by getting your mindset right, and I don't know what your approach is, but just in my personal capacity is, whenever I keep time. So, for instance, I'll tell you, for me, I'm so glad I haven't snoozed my alarm since 2013. Wow. Because from then is, because that's something I can control, right?
Yeah.
Is we all make excuses. It's like my baby or my girlfriend, I was fighting with her, or whatever. It's like, ultimately, I always want to eliminate excuses. So for me, my alarm, there's no excuses. That's a promise I'm making. I set the alarm. No, my mom doesn't come to my house and say you have to wake up at 4:15.
That is so true.
I do that. If I snooze my alarm, that's the first lie I've told myself. And for me, you gotta take it to that level. It's not for everyone. Yeah. I'm starting to realize more and more, and my sister is even like, relax, because I'm now realizing it's like, if I don't live like that, I don't know how else to live, because I only know I feel safe when I'm an athlete. This is what must happen for this to happen. For me, it's like it's non-negotiable to be sensitive about time, because then I know that I'm being disciplined and everything else is easy. So for me to pitch up at gym, when I say I'm going to pitch up, it's a given, of course, because I would never lie to myself.
100%.
But do you have any tips for, because I think I'm quite far down the line. It's been 8 years of kind of developing that mindset. What if somebody's sitting there at home now? Because we know now, I think COVID's kind of shown us that, hey, life is for real and people are struggling, people are suffering. My thing is, can you keep an alarm and wake up 90 days in a row? This is what I always advise people. Before I worry about physical exercise, I said, don't worry about that. Because physical exercise, that's hard. Can you wake up 90 days in a row, right? At the same time. 6 o'clock. So I don't want to hear about, I went out for a girls' night, whatever. I went out for a guys' night for beers. If you can't wake up at the same time for 90 days in a row, you're not disciplined.
Sure.
That's all you got to do, and that's easy. That one for me is easy, because that's 3 months. Can you do that? Because if you can't do that, you're not ready to run a 100K race. You're not ready to run a marathon, in my mind. But I don't know. What does a professional say about mindset?
Well, the big thing is what you value, right? So, as an example, hope she doesn't kill me, but my girlfriend will set an alarm and she'll hit the snooze button 20 times in a row. But if she's got a deadline, she won't sleep until that deadline's complete, and it will be perfect. Case in point being submitting her thesis. She didn't send it in for review even once, until she eventually did, and she cracked like 85 for it.
Wait, so she didn't speak to her supervisor?
Didn't speak to her supervisor the entire time. Wow. She knew what she wanted to do. She set a time, and she's like, okay, cool, this is where I am. I mean, we lived in the same house. She just stared at a computer and she went. So it is about what you value and what you want to put into it. So dude's running a race, when it comes down to training, you better make sure you pitch up for it. Like you said, I mean, being late, if you're on someone else's time, I mean, then you have to respect that. So that should be something you value. If you're on your own time, well, you're only going to screw yourself in the end, because you still have to do that 100K race eventually.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen? You only have yourself to blame.
I've got a question. Just like in terms of like training and stuff like that, do you say you train harder than you play, or you play harder than you train?
For me, I always want to know that I can go to... So I got raised on... And again, the sports science has moved on, but the race... For me, the race must never come close to what I train, because the places I want to go to in training is that I need to know that I've gone to hell and back. And is it called... Brad, you often mention the terms of periodizing.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
To you. But for me, I like to go to hell and back while I'm training. I want no race to ever be as hard as training, because I need to know... Again, as Brad says, because on race day, especially in 100K stuff, like mountain stuff, is that there's no time to adjust. You've got to be bulletproof here, because there's stomach cramps, there's my knee, there's a snake.
Diarrhea, man.
Yeah, you get sick.
But I suppose it's also the same like when it comes to studying. When you're busy preparing for like an exam or something, because you want to go to that absolute beast of a paper, so that you know that if you see this in a test, you are not gonna, it's not gonna throw you off, which kind of makes sense, because the thing is, like, a lot of the time when you study, like, you must put yourself under worse time pressure than there is in the exam, because it's other people, and because when you're by yourself and you're studying, like, that's very, like, easy. But like when there are other people and there's a guy busy sniffing, or they're clicking their pen the whole time, you must know what kind of pressure that puts. So I suppose it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And for you, Brad, I mean, for me, another important thing, and I was thinking about and just reading some stuff yesterday, is that everybody, especially I think gym's a nice analogy, is that everyone wants to work the glamour muscles.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was a good reminder for me, was that, I could probably run for 12 hours in a row today.
Yeah.
But yesterday was like, you haven't taken care of the core stuff, because the little stuff hurts now. It's like the stuff that, like my groin now, see that. It's the little things, and if you can't do the little things right, you're never going to get the big things right, and people get hurt. Is how do you get people in a world that's obsessed with looking like the Hulk to just think about wellness? Because that's a wellness thing. Like, I've ignored my wellness. I can feel it.
Well, you have to make someone or you have to get them out of being comfortable, because we like to do the stuff that we're really good at. That's where we like to focus. Like you said, the accessory muscles, as an example. People want to train the muscles that they can see. So that would be, call it biceps, their chest, but they forget that they've got their back, their glutes, their hamstrings, and a lot of the time, especially when it comes to lower limb injuries, as an example, people love to train their quads because they can see them, but their hamstrings end up getting neglected, and then all of a sudden that shifts into hamstring tears, knee pain, the works. So I mean, that's an example as to how people treat exercise within a whole. They train the stuff that they're good at. They train in a way that they feel comfortable, like you would, being able to run 12Ks, 12-hour runs.
Yeah.
But when it's time to get you in the gym, start doing some strength work, stability-based work, that's when things start to change. It makes you uncomfortable.
You haven't said a word of a lie there. And this guy played for Robertsham. You'd expect him to be lying, because they will cheat. And they will beat you in the end.
Yeah, we did cheat a lot.
They will cheat, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
100%.
They're saying, damn it, Robertsham were good. They were so good. Those tournaments, those cup tournaments, so good, these guys. So good. And different breed. Hey, takes a different animal to win. Brad's going to stay with us. On the other side, I'll tell you where I was right, where I was wrong. The MKT Show. You did it. You did it. That's big broadcasting. I'm a broadcaster. That's big broadcasting. What do you think of that, Brad? Have you ever heard that on Sky Sports? Have you ever heard?
Never.
You know what I mean?
No, pat yourself on the back, way.
That's what I'm saying is I don't want to judge it too much because I'm busy revolutionizing broadcasting. I can't also observe the revolution.
Back yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So
Fake it till you make it.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Senzos Tebe joining us. Brad Phillips. Two P's.
Double L.
Double L.
And two P's, yeah, you're right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there's a P in the front, there's a P at the end.
I see.
Not Phillips.
No, not Phillips.
Okay, so two P's
36.
in the name. You got to be. Do you have to be South African to get that one?
Yeah, you have to be.
I think so.
I like the way you say 36.
Where's that from? What
Old
was it?
Old gold.
Old
yeah.
gold boy.
Gold.
36 tomatoes
36.
jammed in a jar.
Oh yes. What happened to all gold? Hey, let's get straight into it. You've just said all gold. I don't have tomato sauce in my house, but that's salt heaven. I mean, if you are
Salt
looking
and
to
sugar.
salt, sugar, get off that.
Yeah.
Like, get off that, right?
No, it's healthy. What do you mean? There's tomatoes in there.
36 then.
Yeah.
36.
Of them.
I like the way you say 36.
But Brad, that's a big thing. I mean, we might as well get into it. Diet's a killer.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's literally killing people, but it's also, if you've got those things, and I wrote it down here, the goals, is that people often just have I'm going to exercise 2 hours a day. They forget that actually you've also got to do, what am I eating in that 24-hour cycle? So do you have any tips? Because it's quite hard to go from a like just passive consumption life, because I've done it. Like I'm not gonna think I'm better than anybody else. I used to be an absolute heathen, you know, out there smashing the beers, didn't care what I ate, McDonald's for breakfast. Who cares? In fact, forget about McDonald's for breakfast. Whatever I'm shoveling in doesn't matter. Like, fortunately, I've always been indoor football and sport, which is why I think I never ballooned.
But did you have a little in cupboard though?
Never had it. Always active.
Little fanny pack.
Like, my mom wouldn't tolerate it, even at my worst. From young, there's no one overweight in my family. My mom does not play that. Like, to the point where in my mind, I can never go to a doctor, and I did this about a month and a half ago where I walked out. A doctor that's overweight, I don't go in.
Yeah,
and I address it with them. I say, if you believe your own advice, right, you can't look like that. I gotta go. So I did it for the first time in a while. I did that, and so for me,
a lot of people are fickle like that, regardless of how knowledgeable the individual is.
Yeah.
When you walk in and you're expecting someone to present a certain way and they don't, automatically you've dropped 50% or you've lost 50% of respect for that individual.
Absolutely. And so for me, fortunately, I didn't have a little something in the front, just because my mom's voice is, even when I was a delinquent, back of my head, nowhere. We just don't do overweight in my family, and we don't do like crap eating, you know?
Yeah.
So but that's a real thing for people, right? And I'm quite, I mean, you can ask, Jimbo, maybe you can come in here, is that maybe people think, because sometimes when I talk, I think people think I'm trying to be cool and hardcore, but I am quite draconian to my friends, to the guys who work here. I mean, Jimbo, just your thoughts on how I approach you putting sugar into tea and etc.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to get my mic ready. That's on me.
He spaced out.
It's been a tough morning. No, he doesn't like it for 1 second. If he sees you pick up the sugar jar, it's game over for you. And I did actually want to ask, right? So is sugar like the devil's
playground?
Yeah. Like, why? I know bread's also not good for you, but like, why is sugar the main thing that besides the obvious reasons that you shouldn't eat sugar?
I'm glad you asked that question. We do have an expert in studio. Brad, over to you.
So it's just like the gateway effect, right? So, I mean, your body needs sugar regardless. So, case in point, me coming in here today, I needed some sugar in my system, and because I could feel like I was starting to get a little tired, had an inner jade, but I'll utilize that later on within the day. The problem is when your sugar and your fat consumption, and we're speaking about sugar, but when your sugar consumption in terms of ratios is far greater than the other things you're putting in your body, that's when it becomes an issue. And if you aren't utilizing those sugars, your body tends to store them, and there's this whole cascade effect that filters on from beyond that point. So if you're just having, would this be in tea or coffee?
Yeah, coffee.
Okay, specifically coffee.
Chicory.
Sorry, it's chicory because it's not grown in Ethiopia by Ethiopians who hand pick it for 3 hours a day in the sun, and it's not single origin. It's chicory.
that's you're ridiculous. First of all, it's not grown in Ethiopia. Of course, it's not. Some of the toilet water you drink, but no, it just needs to be single origin. That's all.
Is this typically like a coffee?
No. It's all nonsense, Brad. Let's not do Jacobs. I'm sorry. Like if it's not proper, it's all nonsense.
It's Jacobs. It's not Recoffee.
It's nonsense.
But yeah, it's chicory, right?
Chicory.
Yeah. Not trickery.
Yeah. It's chicory, really, because it looks like coffee, smells like coffee, tastes like toilet water.
So the big thing is when I refer to ratios, you're looking at like carbs versus fats versus proteins. If your carb quotient, and if they're bad carbs, is far greater, and it's going to be, I mean, your ratios are always geared more towards carbohydrates because you need them to survive throughout the day. But if you aren't increasing the ratios in the other two quadrants, plus utilizing your sugars, then your body gets into a storage state, and that's when things start to sit on you the way you wouldn't like them to. And excessive amounts of sugar also get you to go through little dips as well. They make you feel lazy when they should actually bring you up. That's another thing you could maybe take into consideration. So it's like such a broad discussion when you're talking about sugar. But yeah, I guess, I mean, if you could throw a few other questions in, I could maybe give you more direct answers.
So one question I do always have with MKT that I never actually ask him, right? Is why? So I get that sugar can be bad for you and isn't obviously the greatest for your body, especially if you over consume it. But surely having like 1.5 sugars in a cup of coffee a day isn't like a nightmare for your body, right?
No, that's definitely not going to kill you. Your body will use it if you actually actively move, really. It depends on what else you're doing throughout the day. Like, what are you eating beyond that?
It used to be nothing, but now it's actually healthy food. Like I was supposed to have a salad for lunch, but I left it at home.
No, you've just lied. Hold on, that's an absolute lie. It used to be. So he's worked here for about 7 months. It used to be like store bread, like bread, dough,
So
muffins, a muffin
carb,
with his
carb plus
coffee.
sugar plus carb.
Yeah. So you
fat.
did just lie there, James. I mean, I just want to hold you to some standards. You said nothing there, which is a complete lie because I've seen you. I literally work in the same office as you. You used to bring in a muffin with your coffee, which had sugar in it.
Yeah, but the key word here is used to.
Yeah, no. I said shout out for changing, but you did lie there when you said it used to be nothing. That's a lie. It used to be muffins, and you'd get those rotties from Woolworths. Do you remember that? Do you remember? And then you'd get a little bit of takeaways with a colleague of ours as well. Eat those in the morning from the Golden Arches every now and then. Seen you scoffing that down.
I've never had McDonald's for breakfast once in my life. Never ever.
All right. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a James shaming thing. I'm just saying you did lie a little bit there when you said nothing.
So the reason why I said nothing is because like, compared to what you're supposed to eat, and I've like done a lot of reading, and a lot of people have told me stuff about being health conscious, and compared to what you're supposed to eat in a day or in certain periods, I don't eat much. Like today, I haven't had anything to eat, and what's the time? Like 1 o'clock.
And that can be bad, right, Brad? I think a lot of people get the relationship with food is complicated.
That indeed.
Especially when not everybody has an understanding of science, number one, and biology is its own language. Physiology is I would say a dialect of biology. I think a lot of people need to understand what these terms mean as well. Is that not everybody understands that the machine is complex.
Completely, yeah.
You know, and they'll go and read, I don't know, Huisgenoot or You Magazine and drink your greens and whatever. It's like, well, what are we doing here? Is there is a balance, like you said. Yeah. So, James, I'd probably say it's a little bit more complicated than what I'm supposed to eat, as opposed to, I mean, if you really want to take it to the final level, something which I've taken on is genetics in school, if you really want to take it back that far. But I mean, practically speaking, it's like you just want to stay away from store-bought bread. You want to, like, there is good bread to have.
Definitely.
Artisanal bread, you know, this is very much on the chemical kind of side, which I'm always interested in. Is Brad, everybody says, I haven't eaten, like that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, they think that and it's just a simple maths problem. Like, people think, okay, well, I haven't put anything in my body, so therefore my body's just simply going to burn off what is actually sitting in and around those areas, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
You get yourself into a starvation state. The second you throw anything within your body, and especially if the ratios are wrong, your body's going to store it. So, I mean, there's lots of talk at the moment about intermittent fasting, etc. I mean, that's not for me. It might be for someone else.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't go that route, but I mean, that's basically what you're doing right now, James. Fasting extensively, and then when you get into a big fasting state, your body desperately craves all the bad stuff. It's all high density sugars. So this could be where you're at now. Like earlier you said that you've started eating healthy. Like, what does that mean?
So I've been a lot more sort of conscious about what I put in my body. And I feel like that was the first sort of hurdle when it came to eating healthy, because it's easy to, on your way home, stop at, you know, Pick and Pay and just get whatever it is for dinner, and you don't even think about how healthy it is. And I had realized through many weeks of comments and
Comments.
I like how you-
Feedback.
feedback. Yeah.
From who?
No, just people and stuff.
Anyone specific?
Yeah, just some people that I work with.
What sorts of comments? Take us into it here. Is it bullying? Are people body shaming you? Do you deserve to be loved more, James? Take me into it. I feel like you know what? You're just giving me the skeleton. Put some meat on the bones.
No, I never felt bullied. I just I feel like people saw the problem that was coming before the problem came, and then I just sort of a lot of it sort of stuck with me, and I put a lot of thought into it, and now I genuinely do eat. I never used to eat many vegetables since I moved out of my parents' house, but now I actually make an effort to most of the time I have salad, or it'll be clean chicken with just salt and pepper. Just stuff that doesn't actually, and you can also feel it in your body, stuff that makes you feel almost run down, right? If it's super carb heavy or whatever it is.
Well, what is the plan now? Since you haven't eaten today, what are you planning on eating?
I did have a salad that I was gonna bring, but I forgot at home. So now it's gonna be lunch when I go home after the show.
Okay, so what is in the salad?
This salad that I have at the moment.
Yeah.
Lettuce, cucumber, feta, and beetroot.
Okay, so no other protein, eh?
No.
Yeah, that's maybe something you need to consider, and also throw a little good carb in there.
So give
Body
us some
needs it.
examples there, Brad.
So
I mean,
we got-
not everybody has the time to actually do a degree in exercise physiology. Number one, most of us don't have the brains.
True.
Two, probably don't have the time to just pop in there for 3 years.
Yeah,
5 years.
Just pop in there. I like how you put it. Just
So
pop in.
give us some practical examples. So maybe we should start with the carbs, because people hear that word and they go, "Oh my god, I got to stop bread." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're saying carbs, what are we talking?
Well, you get some really good carbs. You get, let's say, you can get bulgur wheat, which is actually quite good. Its ratios are quite efficient as well. Nice protein content within it, good carb content, and a decent amount of fat. You've got your quinoas, your sweet potatoes, actually real potato. Nutritionally, you can check this out, a little better than sweet potato. There's a vast array of things, and also you don't have to eat things, you don't have to make food that is bland. I mean, you get to add flavor to it. I mean, just salt and pepper on chicken, I guarantee that I would also want to binge out.
Yeah, but you see, so that's where I think a lot of the sort of issue with this is, and I think people in general struggling with weight is they don't know an awful amount about, they know the basics. I know that clean chicken's good for you, but everyone knows it doesn't taste great, and that's where people are like, "Oh, is this really going to be worth it? Should I continue to eat clean chicken?" And I think that's exactly where the sort of problem is, and it's hard to find help that you can trust, or help that isn't like a scam, because you know how all these diets, some of them people
So
find
many
out
fads,
that there's a scam, and I can name many of them. And then you go online, and then there's websites where they're like, "Oh, plan your meal that is suited to your body type and your goals," or whatever, and then you have to pay $200 American or whatever it is.
Now, James, I do realize you are actually having a heart-to-heart moment here, and but I do kind of imagine you at sort of 2 a.m. just getting out of bed with a rubbish cup of coffee, you get those puffy eyes and you're just looking at the screen and go, "What the hell is happening here?" My lady's kept up her workouts, and real story there, Brad, by the way, part of the bullying has been the fact that his lady in lockdown, she's maintained that she's been grinding. So I predicted on this show about 4 weeks ago that a lot of relationships are going to end because some partners have actually kept it up, and people are going to go outside now and see what other people's partners look like.
Yeah.
And if you're the partner that hasn't kept up, so a lot of pressure. Her boyfriend, James's girlfriend lives also in the farmlands of the Northwest. So there's obviously Afrikaans guys out there who are jacked right now.
Units.
So James, people respond to incentives, but James, I do kind of imagine you doing the puffy eye thing and just, is where did it all go wrong, and you're just sitting at the computer with the classic boxes and t-shirt thing, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you were having a real moment there, but I was chuckling inside a little bit a little bit at your pain. So
Yeah, it does have its moments.
But James and Brad, I mean, from the science side, proteins. Let's quickly do that because we've done a few carbs. When you say proteins, like what can we all add to our diet that's protein?
Well, I mean, it doesn't just have to be meat. I mean, if you don't eat meat, that's cool. You can get protein sources from different types of plants as well. You can use lentils. You can use chickpeas. You can get substitutes as well, like via supplements. And those are actually really good if you're struggling to get food in, like James, struggling to get the right kind of food in, eats a salad with barely any nutritional value in it.
Yeah.
Protein quotient's down. The second he touches any of the other two biggies, which is fats and carbs, that stuff's going to store.
Yeah. Have
to get your protein quotient up. So let me just try and think of a few other plant-based proteins if you're not just going to eat meat. We've got quinoa's actually got a reasonable amount in it. I mean, we can build a whole list. We can try and do something about it. Build a full list of things that you can add to your diet, but you need to make sure that you get that stuff in.
And what sort of meat can I eat consistently without sort of, fish is a tough one because of what it does to you physiologically, so you can't overload on that. But in terms of chicken, steak, or like what can I eat 5 times a week if I do eat meat, because not everybody's a vegan with a man bun, is what can I eat that's meat consistently, which is there's no perfect, but it is sort of a decent clean protein that I can synthesize as I go on this journey like James is.
Well, I mean, chicken's always a safe option. It's white meat, so you should have that a little more than the others. But I mean, make really tasty mince if you like that.
Yes.
You can actually fry up a really good steak. I mean, an ostrich steak if you want to go as lean as possible. I mean, again, the big thing is eat the way in which, like, add flavor to food the way in which you like to eat. And then from there, you start playing with the ratios that you would need to apply to your body based on the demand that it has. So what that also means is you shouldn't eat exactly the same thing every single day because the demands of your body are different every single day. I mean, MKT had quite an intense 12-minute speed endurance test yesterday. If he had fueled for it, he'd be cool. But I mean, what he eats after that is even more important because the demands of his body had shifted from what he did yesterday versus what he did the day before, which is a slightly different training methodology.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, very true. And I mean, Brad, I want to finish off on something. And James, we can get you back here. And I think it is quite this journey is brutal, right? It's very easy for me 8 years down the line to feel like I'm on my high horse. And it can get that way. But it's like, it was such an interesting thing to me that James was saying is, I was raised by a father where enjoyment isn't the point of life. And James was talking there about just because I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And to me, I find, not because I think James is wrong, but because I find that offensive. It's like, your whole life can't be enjoyment. Like, I hear, and it's maybe because I'm getting old now, so it just sounds like that's what young kids are like. It's like, why are you not doing it? Because I don't like it. I'm like, what are you talking about? You have to exercise an hour and a half a day. Don't tell me what you like. But again, I'm probably not the right advert for that. Is, the balance between what you've got to do and what you like to do from a sort of professional's point of view. How do you deal with clients like James? Because James is on a journey and he has been extremely good actually about, number one, we've been chatting about a mindset, getting that right. But what do you say to guys where you almost need to get rid of the enjoyment thing? Like, not everything can be enjoyment.
Yeah, well, you achieve the best things in your life when you're made to be slightly uncomfortable. So, I mean, that within itself is a good enough statement. So, eating is, if you feel like your body's in a state now where you're slightly overweight, you're feeling lethargic throughout the day, firstly, I would say go and get professional advice first, instead of going onto Dr. Google and trying to figure out little recipes or food types for your body type. You don't know what your body type is. You haven't had that assessed. Just like pay a little bit of money on yourself instead of having to pay for a subscription. I think it's as V-Shred. You went onto V-Shred.
V-Shred, yes, probably.
There we go.
This one, but I have been onto V-Shred, and I can see from a mile away. That's just.
But
So Jimbo, what's your goal?
Probably just to be. So I've always been someone who's like had a fast metabolism, right? So like food would always just kind of not store on my body. And I just want to kind of not carry this damn weight anymore.
So, Savi, is your metabolism isn't as fast as what you think
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
So, like anything, the metabolic quotient has to go down because your body's like, well, I'm not burning anything. So I'm just going to sit and idle. Your body's built to be efficient. It doesn't want to work. It needs to work. So if you're functioning at 20%, it's going to be like, cool, feed me based on what that 20% is, and I'm happy. I only want to move based on that 20%. But the problem is, if you want to create an essence of longevity, you need to ramp that thing up and get it working at an optimal state. Like with a car, if you leave a car in the garage for 2 to 3 weeks and expect to function the way you would like it to, when all those pipes have started to rust out, like that's the same model as your body. It's the same thing. Okay, so I mean, you have to keep pushing your body, and it doesn't mean you don't need to break your body, but you have to keep moving that body and feeding it based on what it needs, and it needs to work.
So the whole working thing for me is like, I honestly, like, I know working out and getting your body into whatever shape you want to get into, whether you want to build, lose, whatever it is, I know that none of it is easy. And like, I didn't mean just now that like I didn't want to do the hard work, or I didn't want to stop the enjoyment in my life or whatever it was, you know. I just like, I think for a lot of people, for their first time going through like a health journey, like MKT said earlier, is not an easy feat. Like, you have to sort of overcome not just like your own body, but, you know, feeling the way you do, or you know, mentally sort of coping with where your body is now and where it used to be, or where you want it to be, and that kind of thing.
All right. Well, James, listen, we can't let this become a James sort of session here, because I don't really want to cry. You know what I mean? I don't want to cry in public, because I mean, you are being incredibly open and honest. So we might as well do this, James. And I promise you, I did not think about this. Tell you what I'll do. If you are very serious about it, I will pay for a month, right, for the base level. And Brad, we can take this on. Yeah. Is I will pay for the first month, because that's always the hardest, for you to go and see Brad 3 times a week, and I will, I will sort that out off air, but you have to do it, and you have to take, so it doesn't need to be the classic photos, but you do need to write things down so that people know what you're doing, and I will pay for it, and let's say the first month, let's see how it goes. Brad, what should we say? 3 times a week?
I think 3 times a week's a good start for someone like James, who it sounds like he doesn't have a base just yet.
Yes.
And also, the second you create commitment, now you made him accountable for it.
Yeah.
After that month, another thing that makes you accountable is you pulling out your own wallet.
Right. So, James, how about this? And I promise you, I didn't think about this as you were talking, and Brad is here. I'll pay for a month, right? 3 times a week. So that's 4 weeks. What's that? 12. So 12 sessions to go and see Brad. But you have to write it down. What you guys do together has to be written down, what your numbers are now. And it's about health. I don't care about weight. I don't care about any of that. I want to know the scientific numbers, which Brad can do much better than me. I'll pay for a month of it. If you commit. If you miss 1 session, though, you have to pay me back for all 12 sessions. So think about it. If you miss 1 session, right, and I don't want to hear about traffic, and if you miss 1 session, right, and we're going to have to, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll think about a time and we'll announce it on the show, because I also don't want it to be in the afternoon. It should probably be like 5:30, so that it's also taking you out of your comfort zone. 5:30, you can be there, you can shower there, and you can come straight to work and have a good breakfast.
That makes sense, yeah.
I will pay for a month for you to go and see Brad. 12 sessions. I'll do it. Will you do it? Oh, I didn't hear it. Where's your mic?
Sorry.
Say it louder.
So, some stuff happened in the back while you were speaking. We had to mute the mic. Anyway, yes. My answer is yes.
Okay, so we're doing it.
Yes.
All right, but are you clear that if you miss one session, right, you're paying me back for all 12, not just for the ones you've missed. I want the money back for all 12, regardless of whatever happens.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, so we're on.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's people helping people.
Keen.
Because James has, like I will support. It's like my mother always said she'd never buy anybody cigarettes, you know? I will support this. Like,
Yeah.
and James, like, let me be real about it, is I do rag him, and I have been, some people are going to say it is bullying by 2021 standards, some of the things I have said to him. But I've seen a change in his mindset.
Yeah.
Even what he's bringing to work, how he's carrying himself, how he looks. Because I can tell by his skin.
Yeah.
Now the flushness is gone. You know that redness of
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
eating and I'm gorging myself. That's gone, which means James is sleeping better. He has committed to it. Like that's not him lying. And I would never just say it because he's my mate. So I'm keen to go on that journey with James.
Cool, let's get it going.
And let's get it going. Hey?
So, I mean, what I do is
Okay.
I track individuals anyway. So,
Yeah.
James, I'll be doing all of that tracking for you. Okay? We'll be going through to food patterns, the works. And what's crazy is I also do have certain equipment where we can actually check what your physiological metrics are.
Amazing.
Damn.
Okay, so
Sure.
we could maybe do an initial test, give it 4 weeks, and do a test at the end, and just see how your body's changed. And the big thing is seeing how you feel. Like, that's the stuff that
Yeah.
MKT doesn't like to delve into. But if you're feeling better, and you've gained a little bit of insight that you can apply to your real life, your real world, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what you would dig to see in-house anyway.
And James is a quality human being. I'm not going to negotiate with anybody. If you can commit to yourself, James, James always says he's vibes. If you think you're enjoying your life now,
Yeah.
when you give yourself that gift of health, so it's not about weight, James. I don't care how you look. When because you're a good person, you're raised by a mother, and the guy's been raised well. Is that we all go off track in life? Life's hard.
Yeah.
I'd love to see James see his best self, because
100%.
you know what a big thing for me is, before we wrap it up, and I think people always wonder why I'm so draconian about this, is I have a very personal experience about it, is that for me is there came a point in my life at 28 years old when I said, it's not about me anymore, because the real commitment for me is when I'm my healthiest self, that's the best version of myself, which automatically means my mother's getting the best version of me, my sister's getting the best version of me, but way more importantly, I'm getting the best version of me.
100%.
I want
Yeah.
the best version of myself for the short 80 years that I'm here.
Yeah.
And there is no gift I've ever received from anybody. And I've had lots of money thrown my way. There is no gift like personal wellness. Not how I look,
Yeah.
the personal wellness and the effects that it's had across my life.
Yeah.
So not just how I look and feel literally, what my mother's thinking at night.
Yeah.
Like my mom's like, oh, my son's healthy. That's awesome. Now my interaction with my mom's another level. And I want that for James and for everyone. So, so we're on.
Yeah, we on.
Jimbo, we on.
We
Make
are
it
on.
happen.
It's on now.
I'm in.
James, you know me and commitment.
I'm in.
I love it. And James, I didn't trap you there, by the way. Brad, I didn't say anything before the show.
This is not Amway. We know this.
James, I honestly, as you were talking there, and I've got to be honest, I always, I'm always watching. I have seen a commitment. As you were talking now, I could actually hear in your voice how serious you are about it. And that matters to me. And if you're serious, I'm all in.
But like even the questions that he was asking, Brad, like it came from a genuine place. Like
Yeah.
I need to change something about me. Like, what can I do? So
I'm all in.
I'm in.
So we're, by
Nice
the way,
one, James.
the MKT show is all in now. Everyone's all in, and that's
Invested.
awesome. Because, hey, forward, right?
Yeah.
No one's
exactly.
perfect. Love it. Brad, you're awesome.
Let's go.
You are awesome. Enjoy your break. Next week we will have somebody else in. Brad is away at a wedding, so enjoy that. Enjoy your time with loved ones, and let's celebrate being together.
Thank you. Just everyone, just pray that I don't lose 15 kgs in that 36-degree heat.
Zimbabwe, unforgiving heat.
100.
Unforgiving heat on the border. All right, Brad, great to have you and
Thanks,
my brother,
guys.
and I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to
Cheers, man.
possibly having my groin ripped off my legs when you do return.
No hands, Mom.
No. Ladies and gentlemen,
why do you guys like emphasizing
what's that?
that no hands? You ripped
I'm
your
just
groin.
saying, bro, I'm talented. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, no, he didn't touch my.
It's okay.
But you're sensitive to it, are you?
I'm not sensitive to it. But
You
you
like-
guys like explaining.
What's that? The groin touch.
You guys like explaining, like.
No, we haven't explained yet.
Yeah, no, you're asking a lot of questions about a man touching another man's groin. It
Yeah,
sounds like.
but you. Okay, never mind.
Are you into it? No, it's fine. Senzo, it's
Clearly.
2021.
It's my thing, dog.
Sarcasm. It is the ultimate defense. Senzo's into it. That's cool. That's
Wow.
great. Touch
How
his
did this
groin.
become about me?
If you're a man and you see Senzo in the street, touch his groin. He's into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been
Don't
Brad
do
Phillips.
that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Don't
don't.
do that.
Are you saying don't touch my groin?
No, don't do that.
Who me or
Just anybody.
I mustn't touch your groin?
Don't do that. We've spoken about this touching incident, and I told you how I felt about it.
What happened?
No, you know full well.
No. Tell us what
No,
happened.
you victim shamed me when I complained about.
No, this is a safe space. Senzo, let's cut to Senzo. He's now about to. James just got real with us. Senzo, what happened? And
Nah, I've explained this before. Like, and
Let's
then
hear it.
You dismissed it.
no. But come on,
I don't want to.
you don't feel safe.
No,
Why? Why don't you want to explain?
because I don't feel safe. Because I told you what happened to me and you dismissed it, and I saw what it was, and I was just like, okay, cool. How I feel means diddly squat to you, so it's okay.
All right, ladies
Let's
and
move on
gentlemen.
with our lives.
So going from one person who is a victim of the world to somebody who is not a champion, somebody who is, I still say the toughest female athlete. Now she'll never admit it. 5 times she won the doozy.
Yes.
5? What? 5-time doozy winner. I still say the toughest female athlete in the world. She won't admit it. I'll say it for her. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side, Robin Owen, the MKT Show.
What a goal.
We're having a doozy. Now you see that's called big broadcasting, because that'll make sense once I introduce this animal of a human being. Honestly speaking, I can't say it enough. One of my heroes. You'll see I am, Senzo constantly corrects me. I always say paddle, but it is an oar. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing now genuine world class, a term that's overused. She would never say it. People always say there's nothing good that comes out of Maritzburg. I tend to agree with them, but when it is good, it's rare, and it is 5-time doozy winner. It is the only family, I believe, to have ever won the doozy between her and her brother. She went to New Zealand, and as the Springboks tend to do, is she went and won really the Olympic Games of adventure racing, which is the coast to coast. That's 243 kilometers for you softies out there that complain about going for a fun run every Saturday with a latte. That is absolute brutal murder. She won that in 2018. She's the Otter African Trail Run record holder from 2016. That has now been broken, but she has held that record. She's now a mom. Like, it's just insane. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute hero to me, an inspiration to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of human beings out there. The one and only Michael Owen's married to her, the one and only Robin Owen, ladies and gentlemen. Robin, what is happening? You look fantastic there, by the way. Can you hear me, Robin? Absolutely. Can I hear you? You look freaking fantastic. Well, what we got going there, is that like one of those... Robin, by the way, just before we get going, I'm not sure what you can see. I'm in the boat. It's K1, K2. I am paddling. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, aficionados like us, we went to coast in 2018 and just ripped it up. What shirt are you wearing there? You look unbelievable. Flannel. All right. Robin, you are... yeah, well, what? When you were just smoking people, which is inevitably going to happen again. But I mean, hey, listen, let's get into it. You have just become a mom. Let's maybe start there and work backwards. What's that whole life like? Oh, that's awesome. Now, Robin, you are maybe one of the most... So we've met, I think, twice because I work in the lifestyle space. I'm not allowed near the thoroughbreds like you. I'm just often the voice. You don't want the talent mixing with the help, really. That's what you don't want. People like you shouldn't mix with me. But Robin, the cool thing about you is that, I mean, I love people like you because you are a lady of few words. Is you've always let the body of work take care of it, and you've never struck me as somebody who's speaking about themselves. Even your social media, there's no pretending there, right? You said something now? You said adventure racing just now, and Robin, before we get to chatting about what your adventures are leading you towards, number one, by the way, shout out to you for doing the greatest thing on earth, bringing life onto earth. So shout out to you there. Is it a little girl or a little boy? So maybe I should have started there, but maybe that's why I'm single.
Yeah, it's a little girl. Her name's Maeve.
Awesome. Maeve.
Yeah, and it's been really cool. Yeah.
Maeve. Oh, all right. No, that's
Maeve.
Awesome.
Maeve. Yeah.
Maeve. What is that? Irish? What do we got? Is it Welsh? Welsh because of Michael Owen.
It's Irish, in fact, the name, but Owen is Welsh. That's correct. And there's no particular family link to that. It's choosing a name, finding a name that both me and my husband liked was quite difficult, and Maeve hit it.
I got to be honest there, Robin, you just brought something up. I've always thought the lady should choose because as the guy, we're not doing anything. Like why does the guy get to choose? He should shut the hell up for 9 months. Your feet are getting sore. Like, why do guys think they should choose?
Yeah, he's making up for it now. He's on babysitting duty downstairs. He's been on laundry duty for the last 7 months.
Amazing. Amazing.
Dad's working pretty hard too.
That is awesome. So, but Robin, you said adventure racing just now. That's a world which I don't think a lot of people would know about. I mean, we're in the space, so I just know about it because I'm fortunate enough to be near people like yourself and the Collins brothers and people like that. So it's in my world, so I know what's going on. But maybe you could just give us a little insight for people who don't know who you are. When we say adventure racing, what is adventure racing? And generally, you can tell us the length of the common event. Maybe we can start with the disciplines, what they are, and then maybe how long it is.
So it's typically trail running, mountain biking, some paddling, and some surprise things. Sometimes some abseiling, some swims, and you race as a team. And you go. There's different distances. The main event is the expedition style races, which is anything from 3 to 8 days long. And you race with a team. You navigate yourselves. You do everything together. And it's kind of total immersion in the wilderness, and sometimes there's dark zones where you have to stop and sleep because it's dangerous to paddle in the night, for instance, down a river, but mostly you race non-stop. You can stop and sleep when you like to, if you'd like to, but it's kind of just full on single focus. You just got to move along the course as fast as you and the rest of your team can, looking after each other through generally quite a wild environment. Sometimes there's trails, sometimes it's off trail for a few days on end. It's complete escapism.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people hear you saying that. You see, because again, you're very, very humble. What people don't realize is, I don't know if this is all adventure racing, but you have to have a helmet. Like just to let people know exactly what type of stuff we're talking about here is part of your compulsory gear is a helmet. Any sport that needs that lets you know that, hey, it is for real. Well, what's the wildest race you've ever done? Because we're talking between 250 and 500 kilometer races, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, somewhere around there. The distance obviously often doesn't really give the full picture. Sometimes you can have an 800k race that's over in 3 or 4 days if the terrain's fast, and a 400k race can take you 8 days if the terrain's a little bit more difficult.
Robin, I mean, at this stage, I do need to alert you that most of the people in the studio are all just yuppies from the northern suburbs of Joburg. I've got a guy from St. David's here, Senzo. Maybe you want to say ask some questions of the legend that is Robin Owen. And so like, just so you know what we're dealing with in terms of the yuppies here, is that the park run thing, they're like, we feel like it's an achievement because we're getting a smoothie. You've just said 800 Ks for racing. Senzo, just your thoughts that a human being can do that.
No, that's incredible. But also, firstly, hi Robin, how are you?
Hey, good, thanks. Good to meet you.
Likewise. Yes, you've done some things that the average human being can only dream of. Just on that one, which extreme race would you say is your favorite, and why?
Sure, that's tough. Probably like the wildest and the biggest from experience point of view was probably going to Patagonia. There's a race there called the Patagonian Expedition Race that I was fortunate to do a few years ago, and that's it's probably the wildest place I've been to, and it's quite a.
And how long was?
That was that one was 8 days. It was probably, I think, about 500 Ks or so.
So you
but to be completely immersed in the wilderness for 8 days it's pretty.
So
quite a wild experience and quite special.
So when you say you're busy, like you're busy, like you're doing real life things. Yeah, I could never. Not that I could never, but like it must be. Like mentally, it must be insane, because like you don't just get up and you do things like that. You have to like commit, and I'm sure more than anything it's a mental thing, and that's incredible.
Yeah, it's once you just totally immerse yourself in it. There's a lot of preparation that needs to be done beforehand, but once you're there and you're in it, you just do what you need to do to keep going. It's I'm sure you would too.
Yeah. No, well, Robin, I don't know about that. Is that I complain if my coffee is not warm enough at the coffee shop down the road. I'm not sure if I'm tough enough to just keep going, and most of us are not. But again, you are one of the most humble people in the world, so you will every now and then notice me pull you back and give you all the credit you deserve. Before we get into the otter, are you aware that you won the doozy 5 times? I'm not sure if that's something that's actually happened to you, winning that whole thing 5 times.
Yeah, it was quite a long time ago.
5. You 5
That's also
times. Robin.
I think probably some other people have won it more than that.
Well, I don't know them, but 5 is ridiculous, and I just that just lets me in that you are incredible. In 2016, I remember being there to watch you break the record at the Otter, right? And I thought, who is this person? Like, I knew about your doozy days, your adventure racing, but I thought there's no way over the marathon sort of mountain distance she's going to be able to carry that sort of endurance mindset, which is cool. Obviously, I was like, okay, there's a hero of mine, but you're able to do that as well. And you said just now, preparation. Is that everything for you when you're looking to do, no matter what it is? There is Robin, of course. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Being a champion, Senza, how good does that look?
Yeah.
Just crossing the finish line first.
That's a boss photo.
Everyone else that's going to come here is not getting the yellow ribbon.
That is a boss photo, actually.
Oh.
If that was my if I had a photo of myself doing that, I'd never change it.
You'd be unbearable. Senza would be unbearable if he had that. I mean, that is just a champion. And Robin, you say it's a past lifetime, but the internet does not forget. 4 hours 49. So Robin, I just want to introduce you to somebody else in the background who couldn't believe what I was saying, because this morning, as we were kind of doing some prep, he said, yeah, my aunt or whatever did the Otter Trail. And I said, oh, was it like 6 hours? He said, no, she hiked it, which is about 5 days for those people who don't know. James, just your thoughts on the fact that a human being, what your aunt took 5 days to do, a human being did it in 4 hours and 49 seconds. Just your thoughts, and can you believe it, or do you think this is the Matrix?
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but it's certifiably insane.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, with all due respect, Robin, you are certifiably insane. Yeah, James, that's the kind of human being we're dealing with here, right? Is Robin, you are a serious person, and I just want to know from you as we move forward to the Otter. I mean, it is a special thing, and I know the environment means a lot to you. I believe did you do your master's in environmental sciences of some sort?
No, I'm
Civil.
Yeah, maybe I should have. I'm an engineer. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe an undercover environmentalist.
Brains as well.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's why you're married. Brains as well. I mean, toughest human being in the world. And also, you got your master's, right, in civil engineering?
Yeah, that's right.
No big deal.
Serious.
Hey,
No.
James, no big deal.
You're serious. You're
So-
about it.
I just want to show you someone, James. Maybe we can cut to James. This is a guy who went to AFTA and he thought that was hard. Not only is Robin doing 800-kilometer races, James, she's got a full-on BSc. So, Robin, there is no way we can compare to you. But let's move on to the business end. You have been, as you said, you're a mom now, and you are that beast of being a competitor. Is that something you can ever turn off, Robin? I know you're a mom, and that is special. I'm not just saying that to be cheesy, but I mean, once you are what you are, right? You are what we call a thoroughbred. That competitive nature in you is that kind of starting to burn up again, or are you pretty content right now, and you're going to come back and give yourself the best opportunity at the Otter this year? Can you ever bury that competitive nature?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. So it was a couple of, maybe less than 2 months ago. I was with Berlin, who's one of the organizers of the Otter, and she'd brought up, like, aren't you going to run the Otter? And at that point, hadn't really crossed my mind at all to do any racing. And then I guess it was a seed that fell on some fertile ground. And a couple of weeks later, I said, actually, could I take you up on that entry? It's been really good for me to just kind of have the extra incentive to get out a little bit more. It's being a mom is pretty hard work, but it's been nice to have the incentive to get out and make some time for myself over the past few weeks. So that's been pretty special. And the Otter is really it's the yardstick of marathon distance trail running in South Africa, and being a race I've done before. I'm really curious. It'll be a nice yardstick for me to see now where I'm at with being a mom. As I said, it feels like a lifetime away. But I'm not quite sure yet whether I can merge the past life and the new life. But I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more of an idea of that at the Otter in a couple of weeks' time.
And obviously, Robin, for people like you who you're actually just, it's like a gazelle doing it, right? Us sort of plodders are very, very different. Do you the otter? What makes it so special to you? Because I know why it's special to me, but for you, what is it about the otter that separates it? Besides being obviously the premier race, I mean, the trail itself is just incredible, isn't it?
The trail itself is amazing, and it's really a privilege to get to do that trail. Your friend there who's onto the trail, she'll probably know it. Like, even to hike it, you've got to like get on the phone and book it a year in advance. Everyone wants to do it. It's not that easy to get it. Likewise for the run, it's really a privilege to get an entry and to be able to get onto that trail. The trail itself is a Sandparks' flagship trail. It's really, really beautiful, really pristine. Such a privilege to be able to run on it. And the event itself is really well run. It's a great atmosphere around the race. It's the race that all the runners want to be at. It always attracts a good field of elite athletes, which is really nice from a competitive point of view. I'm not generally very competitive in my everyday training, but it's really nice a couple of times a year to get together with the best athletes and measure yourself up and see where you sit.
So, and that's a great, I mean, you could probably take my job as well, because you've just done an incredible segue into my next question without even planning it, is that to not only get to the top, so naturally we all, people like yourself, there is a natural genetic gift, but if you don't hone it, it doesn't matter. Take me through, when you say I'm training, do you deliberately, how do you train? Do you do hours on your feet per week? Will you be doing certain hours on your feet? Do you need to do sort of climbing of mountains for the otter? How will you prepare for getting back in the saddle in what is it now, 3 weeks?
Yeah, so this time now is very different. I've got not half as much energy spare as I would have had before. It's obviously the time looking after the baby, but I think pregnancy and breastfeeding is pretty, like, it's behind the scenes, but your body's working pretty hard. So I started maybe 5 weeks ago, and I sketched out for myself a rough plan of probably on average about 4 sessions a week, adding up to 7 or 8 hours in a big week, and maybe 3 or 4 in the easier weeks. But that's a fraction of what I would have done previously, but it's what I feel I can handle now. And it seems to be, I'm feeling better now than I was a few weeks ago. I try to build the runs that I do to be as similar as I can get to the otter. I try, like, rather than for other mountain events, I do like big climbs, big descents, and I've been doing some shorter climbs and more frequent ones in my runs. I think that's probably about it. I'm not very rigid with my training at all. I don't look at a watch too much. I go mostly on feel, and if I'm not feeling it on a day, I try to listen to my body, and I decide whether I'll try a little bit. Maybe is it just my inertia, or is it really that my body's not feeling good? And so I try to get out, but I turn around every now and again if I'm not feeling it.
So we've discussed this already, Robin, is that you've done a lot of winning, an incredible amount of winning. I'm always interested in winners. It can't just be everyone's training hard now. There's science for everybody. Like, is it just a mindset thing? Like, what kind of place? I've always wondered, people like yourself, is that last, I mean, when we all followed you when you were in New Zealand with Coast to Coast, and you're a hero to so many. Talk me through maybe the last 5 kilometers of any race, no matter what distance, and you're winning, and that there is that monster of there are world-class athletes behind you. Is what is going on in your mind as you're doing that? I'm always interested in what winners are thinking.
Yeah, I guess the last 5Ks is always, it's just hanging on there. And it's a bit of a mental battle. You start, your head starts playing the kind of your victory lap of you see yourself breaking the tape, and then you got to like turn that off and think, actually that's still a few Ks away. I've got to think about every step, and there's people coming behind you. You've got to try and not think about the finish line tape, and not think about the people behind you, and just kind of think about what you can do right now, which is keep running, not too hard though. 5Ks is still a way to go. You can blow yourself from kilometer 5 to 4 to go. So and I've made all those mistakes too. I have been winning races with 5Ks to go and lost it with 2Ks to go. So.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah.
What? So sorry, Robin. It does make me feel a little better that great champions make mistakes.
Times.
Where was that?
Joe, I think the first time I went to coast, I lost it on the last cycle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe not 5Ks to go, but definitely the last 10% of the way.
And then you came back the next year and
I went to race a sky run in Europe, Trost to Yakima, and I lost that with 2Ks to go. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
I
Someone
like
else
that
has
you
won it
went
with
back.
5K, with 2Ks to go as well. They've tamed themselves better.
Yeah, I like that you went back the next year and you put your elbow in the New Zealanders' faces and you said,
Not today.
Yeah, not like that. That's not how South Africans go out. And Robin, just before we let you go, and you've been awesome, by the way. Thanks so much for your precious time, especially with the way your kind of days are working out now. I just wanted to know is, look, you know, as much as we're joking around, is what you do seem like a superhuman, right? Like some of the things you guys do, but if there's somebody out there listening who's like, I want to paddle, I want to do adventure racing, I want to be able to traverse a 42 kilometer sort of 5-day hike in 7-8 hours, or whatever it may be for what's realistic for me, is that, like, what is your advice for people that just want to get started in this kind of world? Is it more, do you start with mindset or the physical side? What would be just a few points for you to give to people who'd want to one day do the Otter, for instance?
I guess you just got to, if you want to do it, then you're well on your way already. You just got to find, look at where you start, where you're at, and take little steps to get there. So I guess the first thing would be finding a community. If you've never hiked or run before and you want to run the Otter one day, you got to find some other people who do that kind of thing around you. I start where you're at, start small and take it up in steps. And generally it's once you get there, it feels like no big deal, but each step along the way is, you just take the step and take the step and take the step, and the next thing you realize you've come a pretty long way.
Robin, are you aware that your husband's name is exactly the same as a very famous Liverpool footballer? I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to say that.
Yeah. Yes, I am. He actually, as a young schoolboy, he wrote the other Michael Owen a letter to say, hey, I've got the same name as you. I think he got a default fan mail reply.
Shit, man.
Robin, it's it is my honor to introduce you to people who may not know who you are, and I hope this isn't the last time you join us, because you are friggin' awesome, and I'm looking forward to you. Just like, let's take results out of it, right? I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm pretty sure inspire yourself, but inspire all of us in a couple of weeks, and just your closing words on being able to get outside and be in nature.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me on the show. It's been great to chat to you guys. I'm really looking forward to getting onto the Otter Trail. I've been getting out into nature a lot more than I would have otherwise, just because I've got the entry and I've got something to train for. So already, thank you very much to the Otter for that. And I'm really looking forward to getting onto the pristine Grail of Trail in a few weeks.
The Grail of Trail, indeed. Robin Owen. James, what about this lady? What about what we're dealing with here? I mean, Jimbo, talk me through, just before we let Robin go, the way she just said, it was just 8 days, kind of like 800 kilometers. Hey, your thoughts?
Robin, so I don't know how much you heard from our previous conversation while you were waiting during the break, but we were talking about me and how I picked up weight. I can't get up my stairs without being out of breath.
Yeah, it's inspiration though, isn't it, Jimbo?
It's incredible. I genuinely didn't believe MKT when he had told me your times for certain runs, and compared to their length and stuff. And I just think it honestly takes a lot to keep yourself in it and to keep yourself going while you're running. And that to me in itself is just wow.
Well said, Jimbo. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africans are a humble bunch, and Robin is this, but it's been an absolute honor to have a certified legend. And she doesn't say it. Just go and look at the body of work. So you don't need to get emotional about it, or that Go and look at the body of work and tell me it's not a certified legend. And we should be extremely proud of this lady. And to have her back for me as a runner, as somebody who aspires to stay fit, is an absolute inspiration. Robin, you're a hero to me and to many out there. And it's been an absolute honor to have you on the show today.
Great. Thanks for having me. Look forward to seeing you, Tato.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
So take it easy, Robin. I mean,
Sure.
Senzo, just before we go to break, that lady's for real.
No, she's serious, and she's so understated. Like she's almost like embarrassed of what she's achieved, and you can see like she's people like that don't come about often, dude.
That's a real champion.
Nah, it's like that. She's for real. She's serious.
For real.
She's about it.
About it, as Senzo would say. Ladies and gentlemen, we will bring you a series of interviews from the Otter. So that's number one is in the can. One of the greatest South African athletes of all time has just joined us. Cannot wait to see her again at the Otter very, very soon. We're about 3 weeks out now. We'll bring you the legendary Ryan Sands. He will be with us. He will join us on Wednesday. So we'll keep churning them up, and we've got a couple of really, really interesting ones. So keep an eye on our social media. Keep an eye on the Otter African Trail Run. You can look at their social media for what's coming up, what's next, who's going to be on the show. And then I believe it or not, for whatever reason, and I hope they keep doing it, is they have employed me to go and work at the event. So that is an honor every single year. And I'm not just saying it to be one of those people for Instagram. It is out of a movie. That trail is out of a movie, folks. Sometimes if you go deep enough into the trail, literally a whale is, I am not joking when I say 10 meters from you, they are there. And hey, listen, if you were brave enough, you could literally touch them. So it is one of the most protected pieces of land in the world, and it is exquisite. So I cannot wait to get down there. Robin Owen, the great Robin Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, the MKT Show. We got plenty on the other side. What's Owen on? What's Owen on? See, those are my friends and people that I work with. That's what they think of my puns. If you don't get it, you got to listen to the rest of the podcast to realize what I've just done.
Not your best work, but it's Monday. I'll give you the leeway.
What's Owen on? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
You're about that. James,
No,
James, what's Owen on? What's Owen on? James is having none of it. He's not even going to come on camera. I'm very, very proud of what a...
James.
Look, here's my thing, right? You know, I thought we had a moment and James is going to get healthy and do that whole thing. And now you've hurt me.
Sure.
I feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to work out anymore and it's your fault.
Because her name's Robin Owen.
Yes, we got that.
No.
We got that, but do not, James. Do not. You should have hit him with. You should have hit him with the Jonah Hill.
That ain't it, fam.
Nah.
What's Owen on? All right, well, I'll ask her. I'll send her a message after this and say I brought the show back, revolutionizing broadcasting. And who cares what you bums say anyway?
I hope she blanks you.
You guys can't even do an 800k race. So who cares with that? You guys are trying to hurt my feelings.
Can't do an 800k race. Okay.
Yeah. 800ks.
Give me 2 years.
Yeah, you reckon?
It's because
Give me
we're
2 years.
not-
Like, seriously?
Don't say stuff if you're not going to do it.
Give me 2 years.
Will you do an adventure race in 2
Give
years'
me
time?
2 years.
To do what?
Huh?
No, let it
To
all
do
out.
an adventure race.
Okay, so James, we're going to clip this. Adventure races, the smaller ones, is about 150 Ks, but it is brutal murder, by the way. There's no, as you said, I mean, you heard her say, there is no sleeping there.
Give me 2
So
years.
it's not murder on the dance floor. It's just
No,
plain
that's
brutal
Sophie
murder.
Ellis Bextor. Did see her live. Great show lady, by the way. But I do like what you did there, James.
So you reckon? Because I also want to be a trailblazer. You know what I mean?
So you would have to actually blaze the trail by running on the trail. So you're saying what? Give you 2 years,
2 years.
and you'll do an adventure race.
I'll do one with you.
I don't do adventure racing. I only do trail running.
Okay, cool. But like,
So what you'll do? Do you want to do adventure racing or trail running?
which one? Which baby steps first?
Trail running. What distance?
Baby steps. Like, that's
So I mean, you got to do 22 Ks. That's baby steps.
okay. Cool.
22. How long? No, but 22 Ks. You can,
No, not for two. Okay.
by May next year. You got to
May next year.
May
Cool.
next year. All right, James, we're going to clip this. We're going to put it out there. Senzo Sitebe commits to doing a 22K mountain run, by the way. Must be very clear. That's a trail race, 22K. Okay, you said it. What is the hashtag for today, James? Oh, no, Mike. No, Mike. What is going on in the back there?
It's because our sound guy's sitting here on his phone.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Unprofessional. But all of you guys, all three of you guys, unprofessional in the back there. Yeah, because James, I like that you blamed him, but you guys win as a team, you lose as a team. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. I mean, I know I did blame him,
Ben.
and that was wrong of me. I do take full responsibility for my actions.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not me.
Strapped you as me. It's all just going wrong.
Unprofessional. Just the whole lot back there. But the hashtag today is what, James, and why?
So today's hashtag is Tuesday is the new Monday. And that's because Friday is public holiday in South Africa.
That's very true. What holiday is it? South Africans, what? We work too hard? We need another holiday. What is the
Heritage Day.
holiday?
People are... I don't know if it's called National Bride Day
No.
now or Heritage Day. I don't know what it's
No.
called.
It's Heritage Day. It's not Bride Day, guys. It's Heritage Day.
But who cares? We made it all up. Like, I love that people get sensitive about heritage, milk day. Who cares? Human beings made a calendar up. Like people get so emotional about it. Like, what do you... Are people actually going to go... If you... Like, you're Zulu, you're not going to do anything, right? I'm close. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to bribe at the Oaks and maybe watch the football.
You'll be happy to know.
Well, that's not for you to say.
But they used to call it Chuggers Day.
You'll be happy to know that we're also getting another public holiday in about a month's time.
In a month's time, well, why? What did we do?
Elections.
It's on the 1st of November. It's elections.
You do need to vote, James. Are you registered?
I am registered.
Since are you registered?
Yeah, I'm registered to vote, but let me...
You got to vote. You got to vote. You got to
You
vote.
think so?
Yeah, you just got to vote. Otherwise, you can't complain.
Huh?
So it's one of those.
So I must vote so I can... But like, you know...
No, you should complain. Plus, you are very close to a German person. You know what the German people say? Germany only works because we're the best at complaining. You must complain. Complaining is a good thing.
No, but...
You got to vote. You got to vote. Don't even think about it. Just vote.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, do not... My thing is behind voting and everything.
Yes.
If you don't vote, you must go to work. No, it's true though.
I'm with you.
But you're not just going to get a free holiday because, you know, it's
There's
a...
no logic in that. Wait, hang on. Question.
Yeah.
There's no logic in that though.
What do you mean there's no logic in it?
Because so Friday is Heritage Day, right?
Yes.
And I know some people aren't accepting of it being National Bride Day, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But then technically, if it was National Braai Day, everyone would have to braai. If you didn't braai, you'd have to go to work.
No,
right?
listen. You're getting me wrong. To vote is something totally different, dude.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
I don't know what James is trying to
I
say.
don't know what you're on. You see, these,
James,
these
are you asserting braaiing and voting?
voting. You're putting them hand in hand. Not a
What I
choice.
was saying is,
I would suggest the one is a little bit more important to things like, I don't know, civil rights.
Yeah, and also what
else?
people went through to get people to vote and all that. Like,
Yeah, because you just go to Woolworths to get boerewors. Some people died so I could vote. So can you see how those are different? But what were you actually saying?
what I
After-
was saying
is
is,
this incident,
what
boy?
it sounded like Senzo was saying is that whatever the public holiday is, you have to do it or else.
no.
Like if it's national, I don't know.
Let's use real ones. Let's say,
let's say Youth Day. There are old people out there. So like what?
yeah,
I don't know, bro. That's what it sounded like
Yeah,
you were saying.
because you know, I said the voting one. Like if you don't vote, so since we're talking about voting, so if you don't vote, right, you should go to work because like there's
Who enforces that?
Huh?
Because aren't the cops watching the polling station so guys don't cheat or whatever? How would we enforce that? I like where your head's at.
yeah.
Because first of all, I just wish we could vote online and just get back to work. But okay, obviously that's not going to happen. How do we?
But what about
enforce that?
people with no computers and stuff?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, so not everybody's privileged to be
Sitting in
to
front
have
of a computer.
and have the internet. What about people, in very rural South Africa?
Yeah, they can't vote at all.
So now you're taking away their.
No, that's okay. That's
But then
fair.
again, I hear what you're saying because there are other people who do have to work on days that we vote, and
So, James, I think Senzo made a good point, though, is now that you've enforced a ridiculous rule, we might as well go with it, is what do we do on Youth Day? Do old people just get pushed into a river, like, for being old? How do we celebrate the youth, like, organically, so that we ain't lying?
and Women's Day. What? So dudes, we don't care what you just.
Yeah,
go-
do men have to go till the field?
there you go. You see, you
What
didn't, you didn't really think about what you were saying.
This is why I said it sounded like it wasn't logical, because I had the same questions. What do you do when it's Youth Day? But then he explained what he meant, voting and all of that stuff, and now it makes sense.
Okay, well,
Pretty sure I wasn't the only one that thought that, though.
I think most people can. It's something called. James, as you know, guy from Denmark, Soren Kierkegaard. Obviously, he's
Christian
one.
Eriksen.
Yeah, oh, no. Who is fine, by the way. Breaking news: Christian Eriksen is fine. Can we stop? Okay, so yes, but a guy who was born just before him, James, just before him, a guy called Soren Kierkegaard. He gave us modern day a sort of existential thought. Is that we can think about sort of the validity of voting and Youth Day with its own cause and roots. It's called existential thinking. We don't have to, because you've made the classic, as you know, only too well, causation correlation error there. And you've just correlated, okay, they're all public holidays. Let's just throw a blanket over all of them. And that is absolutely ridiculous.
I was actually going to mention Kierkegaard, but I didn't want it to go over your head,
Wow. And this is the guy who said, okay, never mind.
No, James, I hear you. And you are thoughtful. You're in a very thoughtful space in your life right now, just going in terms of your health and things like that. Gutlen Kosi has just messaged in on YouTube, which you can do as well if you're watching this live. Should we have mandatory voting like in Australia? I don't think we should be replicating anything Australia does.
Yes.
If the lockdown has showed us anything, is there is no ways I wouldn't pay to live in Australia with the tyranny some of their civilians are living under, just like shutting down a whole country for one COVID case. So I'm not big on replicating anything Australia's doing. Maybe some of their public service is pretty good, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Like, no thank you.
But, okay, never mind about Australia, but do you think voting should be mandatory?
Absolutely. No, because I don't think everybody should, much in the spirit of Socrates, not every vote should count the same and not everybody should vote. There should be an intelligent test.
So whose vote should count more?
The smarter you are. So we take how much you contribute to the society and also your academic achievements in certain fields. So I'm not having after kids getting the same vote as Robin, who's a BSc student. Sorry. You do a BA, your vote counts way less than somebody who's doing a BSc in accounting. Way less.
I like you.
Way less.
But then it needs to be sort of standardized, right? So like, not just because I have a BA from AFTA and that guy over there has a BA from like UJ,
No. BA, all of you,
Yeah.
you get nothing. Yeah. No, you get half the votes.
You get bugger all.
Yeah, the BSc,
get
guys
it.
who are in the long grass, they get more. They just like, I wouldn't want to argue about it. It's just like, okay, if you can do mathematics, you get more of a say. Simple. Because BA, you
If
can't
you're a
do.
neurosurgeon. Yeah.
Oh, in fact, you get to decide what color the pen is that we vote with.
Exactly.
It would actually make a stronger society as a whole.
Now, listen, we're starting to get into what they call political eugenics there. So we're getting into the long grass. I am being a bit facetious, I think.
Yeah, you've been very facetious.
Obviously, it's not, voting is far too complicated. So Socrates said, not every vote should count the same, and I agree, but it's a complicated conversation. But I don't think it's fair that an AFTA kid gets the same vote as a neurosurgeon. It just can't work. You know what I mean?
I get you. No, I get you.
So that is what that is. But no, we should have to vote because too many people, and I just care about South Africa. I don't care what they do in Australia.
True.
Too many people have died, literally, and I don't mean killing themselves working. Too many people have died for us to have a democracy.
Do you know exactly? Do you know? But I don't get people that say, "Oh no, I'm not interested in politics." Well, whether you like it or not, you kind of have to be interested.
No, do you like Doritos? Then I always say to those people, do you like Doritos? What's the answer often to the blue Doritos? Do you like those?
Yeah, people.
Then you're in politics, mate, because in order for Doritos to get to South Africa, you're in politics. It's economy.
Thank you very much. You hit the nail on the head.
I love how people do that. Like, I don't want politics. Like,
You don't
have you ever had petrol in your car?
Exactly.
You're in politics.
Have you ever bought anything?
Oh, you're live.
Yeah. Have you ever bought anything from a store?
Have you ever lived a day? You're in politics because there is policing so that raving lunatics don't come and slash your throat. Politics.
Are you a free person?
Yes.
You're not in jail. Why? Politics. Because you're what? A law-abiding what?
Yeah.
Citizen.
I'm with you. Hey, you got an ID? Politics. So you're in it whether you like it or not. All right, let's move away from politics because we actually don't know anything about that on the show. We have no idea what we're talking about. Talk to me about something which is way more difficult and complex and more reliable, social media.
So I saw this one tweet from a prominent British broadcasting station.
Let's hear it.
It said, what's the most iconic Premier League era? Mm-hmm. And it's got like from 92 to 99. And then it's got like from 2000 to 2004. Then it's got like so it got me thinking, and I was like, which one was like really blockbuster, and which one is the one for you?
Ooh, that's a good one. So 92 to 99, I'd love it. Obviously, Kevin Keegan throwing away the title. That's Alan Shearer holding the trophy. If you're watching with us on YouTube, Blackburn, if you didn't know, I think that's 1993. I believe they won it. 94. That's David Beckham with the famous goal against Wimbledon there from the halfway line.
On opening day.
So absolute cracker. He wore number 10 back then. The next era, 2000 to 2004, not really an era if you look at it there. They've just, basically that's an Arsenal fan who works at Sky Sports who's decided that one has to matter. That's 4 years.
And there's Mourinho.
And Jose Mourinho. And then there is the rest with Aguero. That's tough to say, isn't it?
You chat like you're a nice guy. I'll see you on the field. It is. Roy Keane.
Old Roy Keane. You'd have to say whatever that one is after 04, probably that Keane Vieira when they really started to tear into each other.
Keane Vieira.
So from 99 till about 2006 is where it was at.
Mourinho's upsetting the apple cart.
Yeah, now Gerrard was also like apexing, and then Xabi Alonso came along.
Then this one kid, I don't know if you've heard of him, Cristiano Ronaldo said, listen, this is me.
That's the era. That's the one.
That's the one, eh?
Although even before Ronaldo, I think is the one. Because Ronaldo arrived at Man United when?
03, after Beckham.
Yeah, so that era.
Yeah, that era.
Just before.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of lost it. It went a little bit soft. Because then you had Keane, Vieira, Fabregas, Henry, Wiltord, Terry, Mourinho. Like,
how are you feeling about the era that we're in now?
Disillusioned.
Okay.
Disillusioned. It's
what sense?
Because listen, it's become a family show, right? Is that I don't get to see Roy Keane snarling anymore. Like
Pizzagate, you don't get to see people throwing pizza at each other.
Yeah, because they've turned it into, it's a family show, right?
True,
and listen, I love the football, but the stuff around it used to be so cool. When Vinnie Jones, when I was growing up, then Roy Keane, you know, as I was a teenager, like, because I love sport, a big part of life for me, I don't like people who are not aggressive. Like, I like aggression. And for me, I function well in hyper masculine environments. It's where, like I
Alpha
said,
dogs. You want to see the real alpha dogs.
it's why I love boarding school. Like,
You want to see who the apex is.
and let's punch each other. Like, I like that. So I'm biased, you know, to Roy Keane. I idolize that kind of leader. Now I understand that people today will say
not for
that's
everybody.
bullying and that's whatever, which is fine. And now it's just become too big of a product to you just can't be Roy Keane anymore.
Yeah. So my thing is,
And you?
no, what do I think of this era? This era,
What's your favorite era? Maybe let's keep it positive.
from about like 99. Mm-hmm. You know, when Spice Boy was doing his thing.
Yeah.
And to about like that United team, like that three. So from 3P to 3P.
So that's 07 to 09.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're unstoppable. That's with Vidic, Ferdinand.
But also the thing is, as well, now it wasn't just like. Also, it was cool to see like Ferguson and how he was gonna deal with the Mourinho thing, because it got to him.
Yeah.
You could see it got to him. Like he's like, yo, there's this guy, and I can't shake him. The only thing I don't like about that is that I never got to witness us win at Stamford Bridge quite a lot. So
Yeah, that's when the dynasty. That's when
Stamford Bridge was like a proper fortress. No team wanted to play Chelsea. You didn't want to go to the bridge.
Thomas Tuchel might say, "I'm building that again." Not sure he'll
Dude,
last. Yeah, no,
you guys are serious, eh?
something's going on there.
You guys are serious.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. I mean, I'll give you where I was right, where I was wrong tomorrow, because something is going on there. After what I watched yesterday, second half they bullied Tottenham. It wasn't even a quality thing.
It could have been 7-0.
But it was ugly for Tottenham because they really got bullied in that second half. It was actually at a stage it was
Do you think they lied down, or do you just think Chelsea were just too superior?
And it wasn't even a technical thing. When Conte came on, they bullied them into submission.
But the thing is, it's like Chelsea didn't even break stride in the second half.
It's because, you know, when Conte came on, that's when you saw Ndombele, you ain't it.
Nothing, eh?
Because then Conte said, no. Guys, enough mucking about here. Let's do it properly.
Just the last point on this. I feel sorry for Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris didn't have a bad game yesterday. It's just that, hey, it's serious. Like now you're seeing Chelsea, like they're saying, guys, we're head and shoulders above every team in London. It's not even close.
And that's I think our best forward when he's playing is Christian Pulisic. Honestly, I don't forget Lukaku, I like Havertz, I like Werner. When Pulisic's on, if he comes back fit, then I think the league has something to worry about. But I can't trust his health, so I'm not sure Chelsea are ready to challenge City or Liverpool. I'm not sure. There's something missing. There's something else. Lukaku, I know his health can go. If Pulisic comes back and we unleash, because Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, they fit. They play all season.
And they do it, eh?
I don't know if Pulisic, because Pulisic's the X factor. He
takes it to the over the top.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
that'll be good talking topic tomorrow.
I'm excited for that chat actually.
All right, to James, to the other West guy from the West there. His black t-shirt, his name's Ryan. To Welcome in the back, to Senzo, to Robin, Owen.
To you, dude.
Who else did we have on the show today? We had Brad Phillips. Shout out to James committing his life.
To Sipo.
To a man, to the camera floor wizard here, that is Sipo, a man who, has joined us. Now a lot of people are saying, hey, being a Xhosa person, am I nervous that a tribe that tried to burn down the country, just bringing Zulu people in here, am I nervous about that? Absolutely not. I'm not nervous about it because as the Xhosas did before, we will always remain undefeated. We will always remain undefeated. They can burn down all the malls they want, but they will not take our spirit. What do you think of that as like a speech, like a closing speech for a war?
No, because the thing is now you're single. Yeah, you are.
Oh, you're saying I'm tribalist?
Yeah, you're.
And I will not apologize.
And you're picking a fight with a Zulu person.
Because you know what I will do? By the way,
I'm brave.
I'm typically Xhosa as well, is I will not stay loyal. I will move to Pedi as soon as the heat gets turned up on Xhosa people. You better believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is MKT. This has been the MKT Show. What a great way to start a Monday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Hey.
You set the bar high.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Monday. Tomorrow we'll be back. The MKT Show, ladies and gentlemen. For now, we are the hell out of here.